Hey there, Lincoln here from bullacademy.org. Today I want to talk to you about Lucid Motors and the CCIV rumors. So on this channel, bullacademy.org, what I preach is the bull mentality. The bull mentality is that we know what we invest in. We understand what we invest in. We believe in what we invest in, and we hold for the long term because that's how we build wealth in this country. That's how we give ourselves the best chance of success on the stock market. So I want to be very clear from the start. Buying CCIV is speculating. It's not investing. We have no idea what CCIV is targeting. We don't know if any of these rumors are going to come through. So before we go on, let's clear up what investing is. Investing is when you know what you're investing in, you have an idea of the current numbers of the deal, and you have a feeling and reason to believe in what the numbers could become in the future. Right now, we have no idea what the numbers are, and all we have is a feeling of what the numbers could become in the future. We don't have both parts of that. We need that first part to call it investing. Otherwise, we're just speculating, we're just gambling. And there's a fine line between gambling and investing. And right now, CCIV is a speculation, because again, we have no idea what it is. So on this channel, my job is to help you learn how to invest and build long-lasting sustainable wealth. But even more important, it's also to protect you from the sharks out there who want to eat your lunch, who want to take your money and put it into their pockets. And those people are called swing traders, and they're called day traders. And sometimes they're called fund managers. Today we're talking about the swing traders and the day traders. I want to be very clear that I have bought into CCIV. I bought thousands of shares, and the reason I have is because of a thing called asymmetric risk, the holy grail of investing. It was one of our first videos on this channel, and I urge everyone to watch that video. If you don't watch any other videos from us, from bullacademy.org, watch that one. Just go watch that one, because it's incredibly important to understand, and it's how you build wealth. It's how you build outsized returns in your investments. So I have bought into CCIV on the rumors because I believe there is a chance, a good chance of the deal coming together. And if it doesn't, in the off chance that it doesn't come together, I am fine with the potential loss. And I could be losing thousands of dollars. Many thousands of dollars I could lose if this deal doesn't come together. So I understand that risk, and I believe it's incredibly asymmetric. And that's why I've bought CCIV, and we've discussed this in our Patreon community. We learned about it very early on. I bought it at 12 after one of our patrons shared it in the channel. And we've been discussing and coming up with all the ideas of how this deal could come together and why there is such a high chance of it coming together, but also why we all need to be very careful and all need to be very aware that this is speculation and that we could all lose our money. We discussed that a lot. So we've been talking about this from the very start, a few weeks ago. What was that, 2 weeks now? And many of us are buying. So that's a perk of being a patron at patreon.bullacademy.org. You get to join a community of investors who want to share knowledge and build wealth together and do research together, crowdsource diligence. And that's what we do over in our Discord channel. So if you're interested in joining us over there, getting more access to me and getting direct answers to your investing questions, then join us over at patreon.bullacademy.org. But let's go on. So with all that said, I want to tell you why I'm coming out today to discuss this prematurely, because I usually want to come out after we have an actual deal to discuss and then tell you why I'm investing and give you the actual numbers and why I believe it's a great investment for the future. But today I want to tell you to be careful. I want to tell you that there are people out there who have a sole purpose of pumping up hype stocks. They're called swing traders. The way they make money is they buy the rumors and they sell the news. So what does that mean? When a new rumor comes out about a target company for a SPAC or a potential merger between two companies or whatever, or some potential good news for a company such as Kodak. Remember Kodak? Go watch that video. We discussed that too. And what they do is once they hear that rumor, they try to sell it as fact. They try to tell you how it's going to definitely happen and how you'll be stupid not to invest and how you're missing out on the best opportunity there ever has been since Tesla, since Ford Motors, since Bell Labs, since Google, Amazon. And they will tell you all of this just to create a fear of missing out, FOMO. And on top of the hype, they will continue to drive up the stock price and cause otherwise smart people to throw all their hard-earned money at a bet that they have no idea what the risks are. And it works. They do a very good job of it. They're very smart people. They understand human psychology. And we've covered the powerful forces of our own psychology in our video on hype and FOMO and how I told you not to invest in hype and FOMO. Just don't do it. You will always get burnt. As fast as hype stocks go up, they can also come down and will also come down eventually. And if you buy on the way up and you buy at the top of the hype, you will get burnt when it inevitably comes back down. It's happened every single time. Every single time. There hasn't been one time it hasn't happened. And that's a fact. So these people know that. These swing traders, these day traders, they know that. And so what they do is they target people who are just getting started. And they try to pass off their rumors as truth, as fact, as definite investments that will succeed. And that is never true. There is no absolute good investment, and especially no absolute good speculation. So Lucid Motors and CCIV's potential merger in a SPAC deal is possible. But if you go on Twitter, if you're someone who is getting started trying to learn from the community and build wealth, and you go on Twitter and you see people sharing about CCIV and how they might be merging with Lucid Motors, then you might spiral into the wormhole that is the CCIV ticker search on Twitter. And you might see people talking about how there's so many connections between the two companies, and there are, and how they're going to these different places on their private jets to do meetings and stalking families on their vacation trips and telling you that this deal is definitely going to happen. And they'll show you more information about how Lucid Motors is the next Tesla and how the founder is the next Elon Musk and how he was instrumental in the development of the Tesla Model S and how there's no chance of this deal not going through and there's no chance of Lucid Motors not succeeding. And hey, all of that may become true, but it's not true right now. We're only acting on rumors. But these swing traders, these day traders, they are out to get your money. And they're very good at it. They make things seem very true. So I just want you to be very careful in your research. And I want you to be aware that there is no definitive agreement of Lucid Motors and CCIV, Churchill Capital, joining forces, merging, and becoming a public company to take on the EV market, in which Tesla is leading the market right now as they continue to grow and just build their lead. They're way ahead of everyone else. But of course, people will catch up. Other companies will catch up. And Lucid Motors might be one of them. And they might have one of the best chances at doing so because they have someone who's been in at Tesla and was a leader there on the Model S team. Even though Elon Musk wants to dispute that. Elon Musk is not the most credible person. So as great as he is, don't take all his words at face value. He has his own agenda. And so does the founder of Lucid Motors. So they will come out and say how great Lucid Motors is, how fast they built out a production factory in Arizona, and how they have functional prototypes, which they do, and they're beautiful. I love the look of their cars. So I do like Lucid. I do believe that if they go public, if they are actually doing what they say they're doing, if their battery technology is as good as they say they are, because they have a history in battery technology, and they have ambitious goals to take on Tesla and other EV makers, especially leading with the battery technology. So I like the look of this company. I like the deal that might happen. And if it does, I will be very happy because if this deal goes through, I will be significantly more wealthy. And if it doesn't, then I'll be back to where I started because I don't think it's going to go so far down that I lose lots of money. I might lose a little bit, but the management team at CCIV is proven. They've done deals in the past and they just came out recently to reaffirm how good they are at deal making. So we've seen their numbers in the past, and I think that there is enough connection here for this deal to go through. But I can't stress this enough. It's not a done deal. There is nothing saying that this deal must go through. They're still reported to be in talks. Bloomberg has reported it. Yahoo Finance has reported it. Many other credible sources have reported that Lucid Motors and CCIV are in talks. But again, we have no way of knowing if that's true. The CCIV SPAC has not reported that. They have not sent their filings to the SEC. So there's no facts here. All it is speculation and hope. I'm hoping this goes through. And if it does, I'll be very much more wealthy. And I'll be very happy, and I will come out to all of you and show you the deal and show you why I invested and why I continue to invest and what I believe Lucid Motors can become in the future, and whether or not I plan to hold for the long term. I plan to hold just about all of my investments for the long term, but if I don't like the deal after I see the numbers, then I won't continue to invest. That's just as simple as that. I don't fall in love with companies, and you shouldn't either. So in closing, be careful on Twitter, be careful on stock tweets, be careful on Facebook. Be careful with your friends who might say, hey, this is definitely going to happen. You should invest. If you don't invest, you're going to miss out on the best deal ever. It may become true, but they do not know that yet. No one knows what's going to happen with this deal. It could very much fall apart as soon as Monday, or it could very much go through as soon as Monday or whenever they choose to announce it, if it actually goes through. So I like the chances here. There's lots of connections and lots of reasons to believe that this company is going to merge with CCIV and become a public company. And there's lots of reasons to believe that they can take on Tesla and build their stake in the EV transition to take on the ICE vehicles, the gasoline vehicles that are legacy and need to die out because they're killing all of us and our planet. And as you know, I am a big investor and believer in the EV market. One of my biggest investments, if not my biggest, is SPE ChargePoint Switchback Energy. The SPAC taking ChargePoint public, and ChargePoint, I believe, is the ultimate pickaxe for the EV transition. If the EV market succeeds, so will ChargePoint. If ChargePoint succeeds, so will the EV market. ChargePoint enables the adoption of electric vehicles with their charging network, and their business model is genius. I've covered this in many videos previously and why it's such a great deal. So if you haven't seen that already, go check out those videos. So last words, I bought CCIV at $12. I bought them at $17, and I bought them a little bit above that too. And now it's at $23 per share. So there's lots of hype here. There is going to be lots of FOMO. People are starting to chase the stock because they're afraid of missing out on this great deal. That might happen. Might, right? If you don't want to lose money, if you can't afford to lose money in a speculation like this, don't fall for the hype. There is a good chance you will lose the money. And if you can't afford to lose that money, you will be very sad and turned off from the stock market because you did something that isn't smart. Speculating like this is not smart. I admit that. But it's smart if you can afford the loss and if the risk is asymmetric, which I believe it is. So I can afford the loss, and that's why I'm taking this bet. But I don't want investors to get put off from investing because they lost money on a speculative bet. That's the worst thing that can happen, because there are great investments out there that you can make that are safer than speculating on a possible deal. You don't have to take a bite at everything. Warren Buffett says, figure out what you want to hit and let everything else pass you by. Know what your investment criteria is, know what your goals are, and know what your risk tolerance is. And so when things come by that don't fit your criteria and your goals, let them pass. Let them keep going. CCIV going to 100, 1,000. Okay, fine. That I don't like that. It's not in my criteria. I don't care. Let them win. And Bitcoin going to $100,000 whenever that happens. Okay, cool. Whatever. I don't like that. Let it go. Tesla, great company, great investment. Not for me. I don't like it. Let it go. So there's lots of deals that will come by that will be very enticing. But if they are not right for you, let it go and don't be afraid of missing out. Yes, you might have regrets in the future, and that's fine. But if you know yourself, you know your goals, you know your investment criteria, then it will be much easier to manage that regret. And you might not actually regret it. I've let so many deals go by, and that's fine because I'm still doing well. The deals that I did pick, the deals that I did focus on are the ones that were right for me, and they're doing just fine. They're doing very well. And I don't have any regrets about the ones that I didn't choose to bite on. I've had so many investments that I let go right before they popped. QuantumScape, Laser, right? Luminar, those all popped a day after I sold them because I sold them to focus more and concentrate more on my investments that I believe in and have the greatest convictions in. And I missed out on 100%, 400% gains on companies that went on to build lots of hype and appreciate it greatly. But I have no regrets about that because the companies that I did focus on, and I believe in them for the long term, and I plan to hold them as such. When you practice the bull mentality, that becomes easier, that becomes more manageable. In case you forgot from the start of the video, the bull mentality is that we know what we invest in. We understand what we invest in. We believe in what we invest in, and we hold for the long term because that's how we build wealth in this country. That's how we give ourselves the best chance of success on the stock market. And each part of the bull mentality is critical. Each one must be met. You must know, you must be familiar with what you're investing in. You must understand it. You must believe in it. And you must have a plan for how you're going to hold it for the long term. If you have all of those aligned, it will be much easier to make the right investments and to hold them faithfully and not be so afraid of missing out on all the other deals out there. There are thousands of deals every single day that aren't right for you. Don't chase them. Chasers get burnt. We've seen it countless times, over and over. Don't be a chaser. Stick by your investment criteria and stick by your plan. Be patient, know what you're doing, believe in yourself, and be principled. Have principles and make your decisions by them. And if you do that, you have the best chance at success on the stock market. It's as simple as that. None of this is complicated. People lose money because they try to chase what they don't know, what they don't understand, and what they don't believe in. And they try to do it for the short-term gains. Try to get rich quick, and they get burnt. And then they say the stock market's a scam. And then they leave the stock market, and they stay poor. That's how it is. That's the truth. I am not here to sugarcoat things. I will always say the truth, just as it is. You know that. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know I'm not afraid to call people out. Jim Cramer said some nonsense back in the day, and I called him out for it. And I told him to watch the video because he says stuff he doesn't understand, and that's his job. He's on national TV, he can manipulate stocks, and he does so freely. And that's fine, I mean, that's his job, but I just want people to understand that he's not acting in your best interest always. I like some stuff he says, and I don't like some stuff he says, so I'll call it out. And I do that not to pick fights and not to be confrontational. Not that Jim Cramer cares about me and knows who I am, but not to be confrontational to all of you, in front of all of you, but I do it to protect my viewers and the people that I can influence, because that's all I can do. So this is a rare video for me. I don't usually do this. Again, I like to come out once there is a deal that I am interested in and let you all know why I'm interested. This time is just for protection's sakes. The FOMO is rising. People are chasing. CCIV is becoming more enticing. The pumpers will continue to pump. The swing traders will continue to swing the trade, and they will continue to try to take your money, eat your lunch. And hey, that's what they do. That's how they make their money. I'm not going to go fight them about that. They can do what they want to do. But I want you to understand their goals, their incentives. Just as we broke down what short selling is and how they make their money, which you should go watch if you haven't seen that, because it's critical that you understand why people say the things they say. I want you to understand what the goals of the swing traders are and what the goals of the day traders are so that you know who they are and how to pick out their pumps and avoid that. So I'm not saying don't buy CCIV or sell it or hold it, because I'm not a financial advisor. I can't advise you financially. All I can tell you is what I believe and what I am doing. So I am buying CCIV, but I want you to be careful going forward because this company, this SPAC, is going to get more hyped and people will get burnt. It will go up and then it will come back down. And it might go up, and if the deal comes through, I believe it will continue to go up. But I can't tell the future. No one can. And that's the fact. So that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, like the video below, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and comment your thoughts below on Lucid, on CCIV, on SPACs, on swing traders, and let me know if you're buying CCIV. And of course, if you want to help the channel grow and reach more investors, get more access to me, and get direct answers to your investment questions, then join us over at patreon.bullacademy.org. You'll be able to engage on our Discord channel where we share knowledge, discuss the stocks and SPACs that we're all investing in to help one another build our wealth together. I share my early research of our patrons first so that they can make their own choices on what to invest in, and everyone in there crowdsources diligence and research to help everyone identify new deals and get in early before everyone else finds out. We've done it many times with CCIV, with SBE, ChargePoint. We've done it with IPOE, SoFi Social Finance, which I covered in a previous video, and you should go watch that because this is now my biggest investment. And we did the same with Triterra's and so many other deals that everyone shares in the channel, and we all learn from one another. And of course, you will have a chance at winning $200 every month just for being a loyal and engaged patron. So if you're interested in all of that, I hope to see you over at patreon.bullacademy.org. I'm Lincoln with bullacademy.org. Thank you again, and have a great day.